Part 2. Now turn to Part 2, questions 8 to 13. You will hear an interview with Stella Brady, who is a professional photographer. For each question, put a tick in the correct box. You now have 45 seconds to look at the questions for Part 2. Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully. You will hear the recording twice. Stella, you're a professional photographer. When did you start?
Well, I entered my first photographic competition at the age of 10. I'd started taking photographs when I got my first camera at the age of 8. I didn't win that first competition. I had to wait until I was 12 for that. But I was the youngest competitor, and the judge said how good I was for my age. It was great.
So, how did you learn?
Well, my parents bought me the camera, but they didn't know much about it. It was actually my uncle, David, who taught my brother and me. He took photographs for a local newspaper, and when we were little, he used to take us along with him to see famous people, that sort of thing. My brother wasn't that interested, but for some reason I was.
And did you go into this job straight from school?
No, you see, my uncle went to live in Australia when I was 12. I missed him, but I didn't stop taking photographs, and my big dream in life was to go and visit him out there. But I couldn't afford a holiday. I needed to save up some money. So I trained as an electrician and did that for 2 years.
Then you went to Australia?
That's right. I visited my uncle, then travelled round taking photographs. I did get work with newspapers out there, but mostly I was selling photos of famous sites to tourists, that sort of thing. I realised that although I'd learned a lot, I'd find it difficult to make a living as a photographer out there, so I came home.
And now you've got your own photographic studio?
Yes, in my hometown. I began with sports photography because I like football, but I soon realised that you made more money doing wedding photos. But those are not the photos I put up in my studio. I do some artistic work, photos of landscapes and things. It's more a hobby than anything else, but the studio's full of them.
So, what are your plans for the future?
Well, I'm thinking of developing my skills as a portrait photographer. You know, close-up photos of people that look a bit like oil paintings. It's quite hard to do, actually, because you want people to look natural and the light has to be right. You usually have to take hundreds of shots before you get the perfect one.